Hi, my name's Jacqueline. Last fall, I had a wild idea, so I started a company. And this fall, I'm launching an app called Sortara. If you want to learn about why I was inspired to launch an app in the first place, or what possessed me to do it during the busiest year of my life, or you just want to learn about what it takes to start technology for consumers from the ground up, I'll be posting my entire journey online. So just give me a follow and we can see where this all goes. My proudest moment is when I officially had a brand. For some reason, it feels like an untangible thing, your idea. Even when the user app had started to be designed by my company, Chop Dog, that I hired, it still didn't quite feel real. But the second I hired and onboarded a company to help me create a full brand for my app, it felt solidified in my mind that this is what my app would look like when it went to market. This is the name people would be interacting with when they first saw it, and just having that decision made and having a brand solidified just felt like the biggest achievement to date as a tech founder. I think a big part of balancing anything is organization, which is probably why I was inspired to make Sortara in the first place. My biggest piece of advice for anyone who might try to do this is dedicated time. Even when it feels like you have 1,000 things to do, keeping that in front of you with a list and not letting yourself feel overwhelmed while still committing time to the things that matter most really help you keep balance in your life. Well, like anyone else, I get targeted just based on my background and my search patterns, so it helps a little bit to have those algorithms automatically elevate new news and new technology. Recently, it's been a little bit harder to cut through the noise because it feels like everyone's coming out with a new AI tool. I hope Sortara stands apart from a lot of these technologies as not something to make you more productive or improve your workload capacity, but rather give you time back and decrease your workload capacity so you can live your life a little bit better. This might seem simple, but as a woman in technology, I think the biggest barrier is communication. Women and men tend to communicate differently. Understanding how to interpret the way all genders communicate, written communication versus verbal communication, I think these are the biggest hurdles in tech today. Because as long as you can remember that the people that you work with and you are on the same side, you're working towards a common goal, the most important thing is keeping those communication channels clear and concise. Do not let your inside voice of doubt or fear control any of your decision making, and always remember to be inspired and continue to move forward. The first one was absolutely zero interest in my idea from one of my closest mentors. They didn't pay it any attention when I shared my idea with them and didn't seem very interested. The lack of interest feedback really made me dig back down and revalidate the idea in market, doing unbiased research and questionnaires. Without that negative feedback, I never would have doubled down to reassure myself that this was the right decision. And the second piece of critical feedback was so minuscule. It was, hey, maybe you should just move this small button this way. But having someone look at the app that wasn't me, and they had such minimal feedback for what had been designed, again, just reassured me in that this was an excellent app and the design I had put together was solid. Because if that person had came back with extensive revisions, I would have felt like I had failed in that design. But instead, I felt even more encouraged that what I had been doing was the right thing. I use a lot of things, but the most important thing is that I keep a daily to-do list that I actually just narrow down as I knock things out, and I keep it in a single place. I think where a lot of people get tripped up is they start to keep things in multiple places, and I keep my Sortara to-do list and my day job to-do list separate on 2 different computers, but it's still in a single place for that specific workload. I don't think I have a benchmark yet. I think every day that I continue to do work on the app is a success. Every day I battle the internal voice of imposter syndrome, I think, is a success. Every day that we accomplish a single task with any of the teams I've employed is a success. But an actual benchmark for success will be the first time someone downloads Sortara and tells me it made their life a little bit easier. I think that I'm the most creative when I am doing the most mundane tasks. So if I'm just taking my dogs for a walk and I'm not overthinking anything, or I go to the gym to clear my mind, that's when I come up with really cool creative ideas to implement in that. Two people in particular lately come to mind, and that's Marcus Aurelius and his stoicism surrounding the obstacle is the way. As a tech founder, you are constantly inundated with obstacles. So if I'm just having one very intelligent philosopher encourage me that every obstacle I hit is correct, it's just a little more encouraging. And then the second is Eleanor Roosevelt. A quote comes to mind that she said, "You must do the thing you absolutely think you cannot do," or some variation of that. And again, it's very encouraging that someone historically has stated that the thing that you think you can't do is the thing that you must do. As I continue to work to launch Sortara, I hope you follow me and possibly you learn your own plan for creating your own business, or maybe you'll be one of my first users. Either way, if just one person reaches out to me and says Sortara made their life a little bit easier, I know that this entire effort was worth it.